Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be learning mermaid skirt illustration, just like what you can see on the board. So let's quickly get started right away. So the basic measurement you actually need for this is your waist measurement, which I'll be doing that right away. And we are going to learn how to take your waist measurement, your waist to your hip measurement, and we are also going to need your hip measurements. You are going to also need your waist to the new length, that is the new length, and you are going to also need the full length of the mermaid skirts. So these are the basic measurements that is very necessary for mermaid skirts illustration. So first of all, what you are going to do is that you are going to place your fabric on fold. That means we are placing it 2 times. Let me use a paper as an illustration for what I mean. Like, let me say this is your fabric. Yes. So let me say that this is your fabric now. It's white, right? You are going to fold it into two. You can't just start cutting it at one side. It has to be folded into two before you start drafting. So that is what you're actually seeing here. So I'm assuming that this is already folded into two. Like, you're going to fold it into two before drafting. So that's how to get started with skirt illustration, especially for mermaid skirts. So now let's quickly go to start learning how to get started. So I hope with this illustration you have started understanding how to start drafting it. These are basic tips you need to know. So first of all, I'm not going to take much time. So first of all, I'm going to be taking it from my waist measurement. So I'm using free hand for this. So let me say this is my waistline. Let me indicate it so that you will know. This is my waistline. This is my hip line. Let me use this as my new length. My new line. Let me clean one so that you know that this is my new length. And let me say this is going to be the A line will determine the full length. Let me say this is going to be my full length of the skirt. I've placed the fabric on fold. So what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to be connecting it now. So let me take my measuring tape first. Good. So let me say now, like, my waist measurement is 30. I have to divide that 30 divide by 4. Whatever what I get, I'm going to add 2 inches allowance to it before I get started. So that's what I'm doing right away. So let me say my waist measurement is 30. So I have to divide it by 4. And let me say 30 divided by 4, I'm dividing it with my tape. I'm going to be getting 7.5 inches. So I'm going to put in my 7.5 inches and add my 2 inches allowance. Then I'm adding my 2 inches allowance. Pardon it. Pardon me, my ink is overflowing. So good. So for the hip line, let me just assume I'm using like 35 or so. So I'm going to connect it. I'm going to connect it to the hip line, and from the hip line I'm connecting it to the new line, and from the new line I'm going to connect it. It's going to be like a line. I'm going to connect it to the full length of the skirts. Then and yeah, just like so, I'm going to connect it, like I connected it to the A line. So connecting it to the A line is going to be the full length of my skirts. So this is going to be the full length of the skirts. So you can see how the illustration was. It's very neatly well drafted. So with this, you can actually now cut it out. Make sure that all the necessary allowance was added to it before you started drafting your skirt out. So this is going to be the middle line, while this is going to be the curves and the hail the flea. So don't forget that before you continue, you have to also learn about the darts. Darts are very important. Like you have to give at least 4 inches allowance for darts. 4 inches allowance should be for darts, like here, something like here. And you can the dart length can be as long as you want. You can make it 5 inches, 6 inches, whatever type of inches you are working with. You can make your darts. So this should be your darts length. Yeah, so this is going to serve as the dart of the skirt, which is also okay. So I think with this you can have a brief illustration of how a mommy skirt is. So right now we are going to clean it out, and or I think I should come to the other side, but would there be enough space? Yes, I can come.